everyone. I'm Brenda Miller, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time to share with you some of the things that I've been working on. Now, today, I have to be honest, I am not live. This is being recorded just an hour or so earlier. I am going to be celebrating my oldest son's birthday with dinner. In a little bit, so I'm going to have to do some traveling. So I thought I'd get this recorded and get it posted. So I won't be able to reply to any comments right away, but I will get back to you if you put your comments in the comment section. So today we're going to work on a fun fold card. I'm still using the Match Day bundle, and this is a bundle that is going to be available as of March 3rd as part of our online exclusives release. And I was just excited to have the set because, number one, I have a son, my other son, whose birthday is in February, is a huge soccer fan, and so I knew I wanted it for him and his events. And then also the World Cup is coming to New Jersey later this year, so it's kind of very exciting around here, and I thought maybe I'd have some use for a soccer set, not to mention all my friends who have kids and grandkids that play soccer and love soccer. So anyway, that's why I'm using it, and let's go ahead and see what I've got for you. So let me just have to do this differently. Replace my spotlight. All right, so here is that bundle that I was talking about. So it has some great elements, great font going on here with the words. We've got a big soccer ball. We've got some fencing or netting for the goal. We've got the shirt. So lots of things going on here. And then we've got these great dies. Of course, my favorite die of all is the soccer ball itself. We're not going to actually use this one today. We're going to use the stamped soccer ball, but you can see that it's really a great set. I still haven't found my use for the goal, how to fit that in. I could see how it would be great on a scrapbook page. Haven't worked it out on a card yet, but I'm sure I will. And I love the fact that we've got some grass, because I can use this grass with some of the adorable flowers that we have right now for Easter and spring. So you're going to see this used elsewhere pretty soon. So anyway, that is the bundle. And again, that's going to be available on March 3rd. So check out the card we're going to make. Now, I did this card for we did a shoebox swap with some other demonstrators here in New Jersey. And I thought it would be fun to have this fun fold. Now, this fun fold was shared with me from Kim Quade, my friend in Arizona, and she's got some adorable samples on her blog called kimplayswithpaper.com. So I highly recommend you checking her out. But she showed me this. She had done it in her live last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use this for my swap. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to show this on my live next week. So all the credit to Kim. I know she got it from someone else, and so on and so on. So I don't really know the real originator of this, but that's what it looks like. Here's another sample of that, and then you can also see the back. We have two spots where you can do some writing. You can do some additional stamping if you wanted to. You could even use more of the DSP there. Lots of options with this, but the fun part is that it has this diamond fold. So to be honest, I don't know if it's called a diamond fold, because when I looked it up to try to find other samples that other people have done besides Kim, I didn't find anything. I found another design called diamond folds that was completely different. So anyway, I'm calling it diamond folds. I'm going with it. So here are the cards, and we'll make one. This one will probably be a little bit different from this, so we'll see how it goes. But the main part of this card is the fold, right? So we're going to take a piece of, this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I'm taking out my scoreboard. Here's our scoreboard. Now, of course, you could use your paper trimmer if you wanted to. I just find this very easy if I have it available to me. It does take up a lot of space, but I keep it under my desk so I can pull it out anytime I need it. So I'm going to be scoring it at 1 1/2. Now, don't panic. All the measurements for this are in the description of this video, which is really the main reason why I wanted to make the video. Okay, so we've got 3 1/2. So 1 1/2, 3 1/2, 5 1/2, which is that halfway point. Then 7 1/2 and 9 1/2. Okay. So we've got that, and to be honest, that's really all you need, because watch what happens. We're going to fold this in half, so you see that it becomes a regular card. And for the other folds, I'm just going to go ahead and fold them. It doesn't really matter which way you fold them. You just want them to be a little bit loose, so that the fold is just going to happen all by itself. So once you've got that, I'm going to fold back the top end. So I've got, this is the back end and this is the front end. It's inside here. And I'm just going to give that a good crease. And I'm going to grab some tear and tape. Now I've got tons, oops, right here. I've got tons of tear and tape, because tear and tape is often used in our paper pumpkin kits as well as our regular kits. And they always give you a nice amount in a spool, and I always have leftovers. So I have tons of tear and tape, and tear and tape is our strongest non-liquid tape. I will tell you that liquid glue is, I think, the strongest adhesive that we have once it dries, because it soaks right into the paper, but this is second to me. And I'm just putting 2 strips of this tear and tape. I'm pressing it down. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and peel up the backing. And then I'm simply going to close this. And once I do, the ends stick together, and look what happens. This just pops up because we've already given that a nice fold. So for the most part, we're going to decorate it. But there is one more trick. And that trick is taking 2 pieces, 1 by 1, okay, so 1 inch by 1 inch, and then scoring it at the 1/2 inch mark, so right down the middle. Oops, there you go. You can see that I scored it down the middle, okay, and we're going to give that a good fold on each of them. Use my scoring bone for that. And once again, I'm going to take that tear and tape, and I'm going, and you're doing this before you decorate your card, okay? So that's important. So I'm going to just tear off, love that, just tear it, right? Tear and tape. And I'm going to put on one side of each of these, for now, I'm going to put the tear and tape, so just a small piece. And I'm going to peel off the backing again. And when I do that, I'm going to take my card front, okay? So this is the front of my card, and I'm going to take the folded side of this, and I'm going to adhere it to the center of the card, right next to the score line, okay? See how that's right up against it, but not covering it, because you want the fold to still happen, okay? And this becomes your platform for whatever you want on the front of your card. And I remember when I first saw a card like this, I was like, how did they do that? And somebody was ingenious and came up with this way. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we have that. And then these are just going to come up for now, and we're going to worry about them later. So you see, we've got, see how they're both sticking up, and these are sticking down. And now we're just going to decorate the card. So let's start with some designer series paper. So this is the Wonderful Day, it's called A Wonderful Match, is the designer series paper. And you can see I'm using the same paper, and I'm using both sides of the same paper is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to take my wider pieces, and again, all the measurements are in the description for the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And only because I can't really remember exactly. I think it's 1 7/8 by 4, but don't quote me on that. Go take a look. So we are just adhering these down. Actually, I can look. I have a ruler right here. It's 1 3/4 by 4. These are 1 3/4 by 4. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Okay, so I've put those 2 on, and then I've got a narrower piece, and I'm using the reverse side of this one. And this one just says, I think it's 1 1/4. Yep, 1 1/4 by 4. And that's going to go on this little edge. Okay, so that's most of the card front. And I'm going to flip it over and do the back just real quick so we've got that done. So the same paper, but you can use either side of it on the back, but I'm using the green side again. And this is that same 1 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to put that on this small edge here. And then I've got 2 white strips, and these are the 1 3/4, so same as the front, for our writing bracelet. So we could have just had just 1, and I would have probably done the middle and put another piece of DSP, but I wanted a little bit more space to write. And then I was going to stamp on one of these for a little accent, but I couldn't decide which one I wanted to stamp. So I just said, you know, sometimes less is more, and that's what I went with. So that's the back of the card, and this is the front of the card. Okay, then check this out. There is a full sheet of designer series paper that is made up of 12 of these 4 by 3 little note cards. Now I've trimmed them down a little bit. I've trimmed off just the ends here, and then I sliced it right down the middle, right down that center line, that half field line. And look at the fun back, right? That's fun. And I'm going to use this on my card front. Okay, so I split them and I trimmed it just so that it would be just right, so that it's the same 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. So I'm actually, you know, layering DSP on DSP, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I wanted the field on the card because we had the field. I thought, boy, isn't that perfect? It's, you know, exactly the right element, but it wasn't quite the right shape, so I made it the right shape. And then I extended it by putting that netting behind it. And then finally, we have our little focal point here. So what I did was, because this was for a swap, I didn't stamp first and then cut. I used the circle that is designed to fit the soccer ball stamp. And so I punched it out first. So, and that was just for the ease of my swap. And this is just the supplies from my swap. So here's the soccer ball. I'm going to take my, oops, oh boy, that's never good. I'm taking my soccer ball and my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm just going to stamp it right onto the circle. Now, I couldn't quite get my head right over it, but all right, I'm going to go with it. It's close enough. Actually, let's do that again. We have another side, right? Our paper is double-sided, so let's go ahead. Let's try it again. And actually, I'm going to pull it closer to me so I can put my head over it so I can see the top and bottom edges. Let's see if it's any better. Not really. Okay. Still, it works. I'm okay with it. But it's, you know, it's always better if you stamp first and then you can cut it out. So what I'm going to do here is you can use more tear and tape, and that, you know, I might as well do that. Same as we did on the other side of these little folded edges. I'm going to put my tear and tape there. So you could have done this earlier if you wanted to, or you could just use regular adhesive, because I find that it, you know, it wasn't going anywhere, but it is the piece that moves. So using the strong adhesive is a good idea. Of course, you could use wet adhesive for it as well. And peeling that off. And let's see what we have. Voila. We take our soccer ball and we're just going to lay it right onto that. And then when we fold open the card, see how that pops up? So it's popping up. So that is the essence of the card. And this suite, that's a wonderful match suite, comes with also these delightful stars. These are Wonderful Stars puffy stickers. I'm all about the puffy stickers. I don't know if you saw, actually, I haven't posted it yet, but you're going to see a whole card made with puffy stickers that I did last night and in a class. But these are the stars. And so I'm going to use one big one, as I always seem to do, and 2 small ones. And that creates my little visual triangle and completes the front of the card. And for the back, I just wanted to add just one of the sentiments. You could also go to another stamp set and grab a happy birthday. I did that for a card that I did make for my son. He did love it. I will say that. I think my daughter-in-law and one of my other sons liked it even better. But this one says, "Let's go, boys of a certain age." That's their favorite phrase, "Let's go." I think I mentioned that last week. Okay, so we've got our "Let's go," and I'm just going to use some regular adhesive and adhere it to the back so that it goes along with your message. So again, that's the back of the card, and this is the front of the card. And again, this suite will be available with our March release. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sorry I'm not live, and I will try to get back to your comments as soon as I can. Remember, all the details are in the description of the video, and I hope you give it a try or someone like it. And again, take a quick look at kimplayswithpaper.com. She's got from last week some fabulous examples made with this. You've got to check out the boardwalk one. That's the best. So take a look at that too, and hopefully I will see you the next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.